That thumbs up is because I remembered to unmute the game before going into the menu here. See, I know how to stream. I know how to be good with the thing. And yeah, we're gonna get right back into it. Hello, everybody, into episode number 3 of the playthrough in Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve here, part of the Ace Attorney Chronicles collection that included both of the ones in their official localizations outside of Japan for the first time. So yeah, we're having a great time with it so far. Hello in Twitchland people, and hello to everyone in YouTube land as well. Thank you for joining for this video. If you've come from the previous episodes, or if it's your first time here, welcome aboard, and we're gonna have a good time today, hopefully. Please let me know how you're liking this video by doing the things of leaving likes and comments down below. And if you truly enjoy what you see here, consider subscribing and hitting the bell too, because that will get you push notifications of future uploads of this series and all the other series that are coming up very, very soon. Alright then. We are into something that we're going to be starting up something that I am very, very excited to kick off here. We're going to go through the continuing way. We're going to go to Select an Adventure. As a proof, we are into Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. And we're actually going to select Adventure because last time we left our story tale here, we had just finished case number 1 of the game. And we're ready to kick off from the, right from the end of Blossoming Attorney into Episode 2, The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. Which, based on the name of the episode, I am so looking forward to the events of this. What on earth is going to happen, and how it ties to the Clouded Kokoro episode of the previous game is going to be very interesting to find out, and I am very looking forward to this episode. I think I'm anticipating this one the most out of the episodes so far. So let's waste no more time, chat! Let's go to the opening and start play from there. Yes, 20 chapters. My god, this is going to be a big one, isn't it? The last chapter of the previous game was only 17 chapters apparently, so this one's going to be a huge one. But I'm ready for it.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road.
I remember doing that.
As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved.
It was the maid chucking knives everywhere.
But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight, then in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night.
Oh no.
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day.
Yeah?
Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas.
A coal demon?
Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
On a most macabre scene. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that are going to be coming back in this. So Clouded Kokoro is obviously, this is like something that happened immediately after we finished up successfully defending Mr. Souseki Natsume from episode 4 of the previous game. This turns out that maybe there's like something that happened while we while the cameras were off us, or while we were just having a break or a jolly old time. You were like, something else happened. Truly, it was those lodgings that he used. Were they haunted at the end of the day? What is his ghost of coal gas, whatever? And some faces that were fleeting from the previous game. Apparently going to be coming back in a bit more of a starring role here. Who rightly knows, but what I can say for sure is, yeah, I'm excited to start this case. Let's get on with it, shall we? And our boy is back! Yeah, our boy is back. Remember this first episode of this game, we went back to Japan and Suzaru did some undercover ace attorneying for her own. But yeah, we are now back to good boy Yunosuke, so let's go. We've missed him. My name is Yunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective and also good boy. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. Do you reckon by now they'll have done away with the whole fire hazard situation of using tipping scales with braziers of fire on the end of them, and then setting off fireworks whenever we successfully defend somebody? I doubt, but we'll see. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber. Hello, cat! You are pretty much in time. Barely missed anything, really. So, you lost your right to practice law in London. They went through with the threats, did they? Exposing No, not even really exposing. You just, like, played something that was thought to be a government secret. They never confirmed it, did they? Or maybe they did, I don't know. But yeah, they must have gone through with the threat of, yeah, if you play this, you're gonna lose you're gonna be barred from the courtrooms. I hope you agree to this. And then we did anyway, because we needed to do so to irk out and win the trial at the end of the day. But lo and behold, they did it. The buggers actually went and did it. Anyway, a most curious case was about to awake from slumber, thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland, suspiciously looking like it came from a Susato. I like how they had the mix of the Japanese writing for the returnee address, and then the English for the address of 221B Baker Street. Wow. Are we sure Yunosuke's stomach is not like an actual like animal itself? Because that was a sound. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. IIRC was a government secret but also encrypted in Japanese Morse code. Yeah, it's like tomato potato. Nobody knew that at the time. Apart from Tobias, maybe. Apart from Detective Gregson, but you know, guess what he thinks. 30th of August, 7:28 AM in Sholmes' suite. I got the fire going, even though it's like the height of summer in London. A lot of things.
Ah, hello, Iris. Glad to see you back. Oh, Rudo. Good. I was just about to call out to you. The bacon's ready. Bacon!
I miss bacon. I miss good bacon. Like, good, like, medallion bacon. That's like, brilliant. There's a factoid I'm not sure of. Did Japan have its own Morse code at any point? I think the game mentions it as well. There's something called the Iroha system. IROHA. For, yeah, taking Japanese monosyllables and, syllabic sounds and turning them into a similar dot and dash coded system. I think that's what they used. So yeah, again, Iroha system, so whatever that means. IROHA. I think that's what they used. Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo! This could be just the abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. And a morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. That's a conversion table, so it's a halfway, but can't recall did they ever make a full one. Very potentially. Yeah, I might do some reading on that in my own time as well, what the Iroha system's all about. But anyway, we got rudely interrupted. But how can we say no to this absolutely dashing man? Oh, yes, I see. So that's it. You smell like strawberries today. That's what Bear does in this big blue house. Whenever you come along to his house, he comes up and like, oh my gosh, what's that smell when you came in? Oh my gosh, it's you, and then smells you really close, like, and he's like, oh, you must smell like maple syrup today. Did you have pancakes for breakfast? I don't know if it's Iroha is a system that is used with Morse code, but there is a so-called Wabun code that is used for specifically Japanese text. It could be that.
It could be that.
I think I know much about, like, secret international, like, codings and making, like, private messages. You think I know this kind of thing? If I knew that kind of thing, they'd have me on several lists. Anyway. Did I say that line? I did not say that line. Oops. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. Well, what are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? I wanted to be the one to, reveal the surprise, but okay. Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. And secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Telephone spread so fast many players never developed a full localized Morse, but that could be it. Morse code is a fun thing to learn. Yeah, I've used it a few times, and I've done like activities and team building things with a similar kind of like some of them use play on Morse code as well while doing them. But yeah, I never memorized it. I can tell what it sounds like, but just not what the individual patterns mean. That's the thing I can never remember. Anyway. Yeah, can I talk now? But of course. Though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you.
Have you pulled your button off?
Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder then that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Yeah, well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. It's a survival thing to learn English more, so if you ever get stuck in building, it might be on the way to call for help. I know, I'm aware. But I don't see myself getting trapped in some kind of a building. I don't plan on doing that. I know, people might. Some people might. But that ain't my dude. That's not what I want to do. But I mean, there we go. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Wow, so helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Harry, Runa said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
Well, that really is a surprise. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire. The famous consultant detective, possibly a cat boy, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. I doubt anyone wants to get trapped. Maybe some people do. Maybe some people will want to for the thrill of the chase, but yeah, no. I had to morph my way out of getting stuck in the storeroom at business school, then mess with the door installation so the storeroom had the bomb room door and vice versa. No footing on done that. Yeah, again, I don't plan on doing that kind of thing. I mean, you always make a good case for learning something new. It's always a good idea to learn something new, but in time it'll come. But yeah, I just don't see myself planning to get trapped behind a door or in a building or something like that at any point. I don't know what to say to you, but it's fine now.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it gets cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too. My latest special blend.
And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, as published in Rance magazine. Which again, took me a long time to realize that was a play on the actual Strand magazine that did exist. Maybe even still does. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Earthquakes happen there and use elevators, right? Yeah, but again, I've never had too many of those, fortunately. Cross thumbs and knock on wood. And I've never been in an elevator when one happens, so I did, yeah. And I've been here for like nearly 9 years, so yeah, there you go. There's always protocols for it when it happens. There's always a protocol. There's always an error on the side of caution. There's always a protocol in place. And yeah, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it when it happens. We'll prepare for it, and then when it happens, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it when it happens, right? Okay. So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Ah, well, I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it? Really?
That's right. And she had some rather startling news, in fact. Can't believe you're not wanting to learn. My brain wouldn't be able to keep that information, so I won't learn anytime soon either. So, yeah, I'll like, read it up every now and then, and maybe it'll commit to memory then, but it just never has. I feel like it's one of those things where, like, you imagine that the first couple of letters of a Morse code would be, like, you know, just very basic, like, beep, or, like, a long dash, stuff like that, because it's the first letter, the first thing that you get. But no, like, A is, like, something really confusing. It's, like, it's a mix of, like, 1 or 2 dots and dashes. So, yeah. SOS is the important one. You get that, and you'll do fine. Yeah. Yeah, because I guess I think like Morse code doesn't start with a very, very easy first pattern to memorize for like the first couple of letters. I guess that's why it never commits to my memory, because I'm like, oh my god, it's so hard already. But you need to get at it to go through, do whatever. Yeah, SOS. Like SOS in Morse code uses an S and an O, and then do another S, and that should be fine. But anyway, there we are. So yeah, that's right, she has some startling news, in fact. Ah, intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Oh yes! What fun!
So we must, should we? But first, we must look upon everywhere in the place. Oh, look at that! He got his machine back from the brokers. Of course he did. We can have a look at it again. That machine really is imposing, isn't it? But I can never remember its name.
Harry calls it his great analytoscope. It can analyze anything at all.
Yeah, that doesn't really help me. What does analyzing something even mean? Ah, an extremely astute question, Miss Naruhodo. Sorry? Well, as I just said, my machine here spits out analysis results of anything with which you care to present it. But how to interpret those results, that's the key. And I confess, I have no idea. Right. Clearly, I'm going to have to construct a great analysiscope to solve the problem. That might not help. I struggle to see how that would help you out. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gunnels. Mrs. Zada wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand the mess.
Susie might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves.
Oh? Yeah, why not?
Everything's in intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot could come tumbling down.
Oh.
Susie noticed it was a very delicate arrangement right from the outset.
You make it sound like a meeting of great minds. But the truth is, Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up. Be a tidy boy. Take responsibility for once. Oh yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous?
Yes, it's a Stradivarius. Though I'm afraid you'd have to save it for 100 years before you could afford one, Bruno.
But didn't you buy it for a song, Mr. Sholmes? I found it at the pawnbrokery. I'm on the forfeited articles. It clearly said Stradivarius on the label. Oh my god, he bought a knockoff. He bought the Temu version of a Stradivarius. That's what he did. What? The ignorant broker had no idea of its true value, you see. So I paid a mere 55 shillings for it. Yes, I have something of a turn for shopping. Herlock Sholmes, bargain hunter. Herlock Sholmes, Wish.com extraordinaire. What, is it really a Stradivarius then? But of course, my dear fellow! It said so on the label. I think perhaps the ignorant broker had something of a turn for selling. Got you one that could be got for like 10 shillings and just said like, oh, it's a long lost heirloom of somewhere and it was made by handcrafted in that part of the world all that time ago. So it's a bargain fortune, that one. There we go. No, looking at the lounge here. We can look at the fireplace again. Look at the box. Oh yeah, the huge metal chest with the lace cloth laid on it. Being used as a table for tea and coffee. It's very sturdy, that's for sure. And firmly locked shut.
That chest contains my father's detailed records of Hurley's many cases.
Yeah, so I've been led to believe. Though personally, I've never actually seen inside.
And that's the way it will stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me. You go and open it uninvited, you might find yourself being bitten.
What, is there a beast inside there or something? No, I think literally that means Iris will bite you on the shoulder. I think that's what it means. I might bite you on the hand. When I guess at this time of year, Londoners seem to leave their hearths alight all day long. And I love it. There's something very relaxing about watching the flames flare and dance about. But the fireplace in days of summertime is a waste of space! Really, no use at all.
Nothing like a great detective in days of no crime and no criminals, Hurley.
Ah, but consider this. Instead of a fireplace, a frost place. That's my latest idea. An extraordinary hearth from which emanates a cool breeze in the hot summer months. What do you think? I think if you invented such a thing, your name would go down in history. Shout out to the person who made the AC units around here. The principle is extremely simple. One must, of course, light a cold fire in the hearth. Yes, of course! Brilliant! Wait, what? The trouble is, none of the fires I built ever burn cold. How it taunts me. So, as you British say, it's a bit of a damp squib? damp squib, says I. Oh yes, all the bric-a-brac up there. I remember it. These are different pieces of evidence from cases you've solved, aren't they, Mr. Sholmes? Not quite, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite. These trinkets are a selection from cases I've solved with particular aplomb. They are souvenirs of my success. Memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories! Really? So, tell me about the case in which the bust of Napoleon featured. I forget. Memories, he says. Wonderful, Mr. Sholmes. Just wonderful. Herlock will accidentally summon a demon of teeth, right? Yeah. Just wait. He'll try and say like, okay. I found it. I have heard from the ancient scriptures that this could be the one incantation that we definitely need to set up our supposed cold flame. Let me just get to the fireplace very, very quickly and just say the incantation. Cthulhu Fatan. If you just said that, it's like, yeah, end of the world as we know it. Oh yeah, I don't think I ever properly had a look at the chalkboard in the back. Oh yeah, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle.
Yes, it's for a case of theft that Herky solved ages ago. The theft of a precious stone. A carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see. Especially if it's cut with a rounded top.
Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, was it?
Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered.
Oh.
So who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case.
A proper Herlock Sholmes conundrum, huh? Yes, indeed. I don't know of your bottles. Hopefully they're labeled this time properly. There are so many different bottles up there on that charming little set of white shelves.
Oh, do be careful, Rune! You mustn't try the contents of any of those bottles. Even if you're hungry, you could get turned into a llama. If you don't already pick the bottle that's confused for rat poison.
I wouldn't do something stupid like that. I'm not a child, you know.
And I wish I could say the same for Hurley. The other day, he polished off a full bottle of one of my alkaloids.
He what?
He said he was hungry.
I'll be extra careful. That I will be, yes, of course. I think the whole entire desk unit over here would be part of this, but let's see.
I can type with my eyes shut, you know.
What? A llama? He's supposed to be dead! Just like that, right? Let me see that file.
This isn't poison. This is extract of lava!
Man, I'd love to try that more and do like a... practice the Yzma impression. That'd be just like really good, I think. Prong, this is kind of important. Alright. A quick cup of coffee. Then take him out of town and finish the job! Oh, it's coming there already, I think. Just get some more practice in it. I can believe it. When a deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun.
That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one, it woke me actually. I was typing for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake.
That's incredible.
But then, when it got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine. Now I wonder if I'd actually been typing at all.
I think you just might have fallen asleep in the job. That's all. That's all indeed. Yeah, proper keyboard posture. You know, hover over the ASDF and the HJKL, and type away like that. Yes, go ahead. Proper posture, proper readiness for that. Anyway, we've looked around, I think, everywhere. Have we? Wait, have we? Have we? Question mark. Have we? Question mark. Before I forget. Yeah, nothing on the mantle. We didn't look at the tea set. How can I be so stupid? I look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris. Every single day.
Ah, well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs in the garden every time, so it's never the same twice.
When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time.
Oh yes! That's because different blends can have very different properties. Some calm you down, some make you feel jolly, some give you energy. Today's particular blend is something quite special, so you're really in for a treat.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
Ah, you're really in for it now.
That must be how it sounds to him. No time to move is there. I can only go back to my own room. But there's no... I don't think there's an excuse to do that right now. Can present to you my armband, if I wanted to. Or I can have a talk about it. There's Kazuma's name again, as always. Yes. Have it, Herlock. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this? Shh! Not another word! Oh, yes. I see. This would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck. And for winter use. Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as a defense lawyer. Precisely! Which leads us to but one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this now. The man's barking mad. All of that for just a barking mad joke, like he's a dog. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. That's all I gotta say to that. Let's just talk to him, shall we? About the letter, shall we? So this is a letter that arrived from Japan this morning, by International Post.
Oh, how lovely! Oh, look at Sudie's beautiful handwriting. I wish I could read it.
And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court, and won the case!
Oh, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
I mean, we can agree that, definitely. A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. I have won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume... No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do! We helped the man! Twice! You know, in those 2 cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. Ah, the mustache wishing man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache.
He didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley.
Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Although I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly, skin deep. And then the letter had startling news. Breaking news. So, what was this startling news penned by Mrs. Otto? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes! It's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. So he's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in her letter, Mrs. Otto asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago. For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with what that I can read. Might have something to do with that case in the haunted lodgings. Oh? Oh, you piqued my curiosity. At first, you piqued my curiosity, and now you have my undivided attention. On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
That case! Yes! It was very strange, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I had compiled the whole story into a nice neat manuscript ready for publication too. But then, Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said! Very mysteriously as well.
Really? I said that? Are you sure? Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Mrs. Zada was suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan?
Is there something that he knows?
About the repatriation? Because I mean, before Susanna left, she did pay Herlock Sholmes a courtesy call to offload the Cat Flappinator gun to help me win through and eventually solve the final case of the previous game. So, yeah, there might be more divulged there, we'll see.
It's been 4 months now since we raised Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan.
Indeed it was. Due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right. Telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No. It just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which is unknown. He's not dead. He's not dead! But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse.
A ruse? An elaborate one at that. So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home. Why would he do that?
I have to admit I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Almost certainly so, you think? Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Mrs. Zada's father is hiding.
Harry, do you know what it's all about?
He changed very quickly. My god. Well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. A stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort of my absence, won't you, Iris?
I will, Harry. Don't worry. See you later.
Bonjour. He says bonjour when it leaves because he thinks he knows French. I just cannoned that now, that's so great. He scuttled off rather quickly there. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes.
Aha! I found them at last.
Iris! Are they...
The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Runa?
Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. and let us read them, or potentially do some more reading of them when we come back from our first of our mandated ad breaks. I've just seen where the time is at right now. And yeah, we'll come back to this when we return from the ad breaks. For people in Twitch, it's time to do that. But don't worry if you're in the YouTube land watching this currently, because we'll have cut out all the break times. So yeah, no break for you. We'll be right back afterwards. But yeah, I'm going to take a bit of a pause and recoup for the next part of today's stream. I invite Twitch people to do that currently if they're watching this in the
drink, bartender.
to do that. Do that. That would be a good idea.
Hey,
And that as well, Pathy also redeemed a stretch as well. I will do that during the break. And if you need to do that very quickly, feel free to pause and do that yourself before we get going. But otherwise, I'll be back in a few minutes. Don't know what we're about to do, but it seems like we're gonna take it super seriously because this music is going ham. Welcome back, everyone. And I hope you had a wonderful little break if you're watching this in the live stream. For you in YouTube land, if you need to take a pause and step away, then that is absolutely fine as well. And speaking of YouTube land, Twitch people, if you didn't know that I put things onto YouTube now, this VOD will be onto the Laura Petal VOD YouTube channel a week afterwards as well. So tune into it when it's ready there if you want to check out what's over there on the VOD channel. And yeah, let me know how what you find over there, and if you enjoy it, then yeah, that'll be great. Let me know how you're enjoying it as well if you're watching this in YouTube land by leaving likes and comments down below. Maybe if you want to subscribe and hit the bell too, that would be a very, very good and kind and helpful thing for you to do as well. Of course, if you enjoy what you see here, and hopefully tune in for some more very, very soon. But yeah, with all that said, we have case notes. We have very interesting case notes that we are about to mosey a nosy into. Let's go for it. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit.
Let's read! And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue. And I have all the time in the world. Because of course, I am no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Because I was somehow a bad boy. And that was a shame that happened. It was 6 months ago. A mysterious incident that unfolded in the wintry streets of London. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick, and nobody saw her attacker, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susanoo-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence.
Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation!
Was the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. So Susanoo-san and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. Where we did not like what we saw. Maybe mayhaps. Flashback! Wait. If this is all technically flashback, should I technically do this all with the filter on? I don't know. I feel like it might be a bit overkill. So I just do it normally. Oh, I just saw some balls down here as well. Just bear with me a sec. Bear with me a hot second. I should really empty out some of the trash in this room. But yeah, that's a job for me. 21st of February at 5:30 a.m. Goodness me, that's early. St. Bartholomew's Hospital in the recovery ward. There you are, at last! Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Why 5:30? I think not.
Oh?
You're late! What on earth took you so long? 5:30 a.m.
Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes. And it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital.
Also, I see that rat. Don't think I don't. That's right. It's 5:05 now. I think we made pretty good time. Oh god, you've actually got me yawning now, Jesus. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. Yeah, sure. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. I was enjoying my sleep. Anyway, you're here now, so... The victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness.
Oh, we get to talk to little Olive, do we?
You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who's found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back.
Her name is... Ah, yes. Here we are. Miss Green.
Miss Olive Green. Because, she round and nice like an olive. Yes, indeed. Right, one thing I want to ask is why Easel? Why knocked down Easel? Or maybe there was, maybe there were medical records or like a medical chance of I see food. What, you want the flower? Is the flower food? Is the flower food for you, cat? Maybe. Let's before we do the thing of chatting to people, let's be a nosy Parker. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here.
Oh, yes. It's a picture of a young gentleman.
Ah, she looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think?
My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. I just said the first thing that popped into my head, and it happened to be that. You happy? You proud of me? This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it?
Oh, I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe. Used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses.
Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? It is in certain parts of the world.
No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. And they say full figure without being too crude about it. They are dodging, they are walking over broken glass so carefully right now. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that?
If you were a patient here, I'm sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep.
Oh, that is a worry, yeah. But at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one.
Oh, I've no doubt you'd managed to unlock that somehow, while you were half asleep as well.
There are limits to even what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mrs. Otto. You give me too much credit sometimes.
That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings.
She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed in the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her.
Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruhodo. You must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings.
But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. I woke up at 5:30 in the 5 o'clock in the morning. And I never had a chance to have bacon. Give me a break. And what else we got here? We got more cabinets. There are all sorts of medicines in that cabinet. Look. I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them there in reach for everyone like this.
Yes, you're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two.
Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors.
I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock.
Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Mrs. Otto. It makes me very cranky, sure, but not enough to be like, nah, I'm gonna turn into a miscreant now. Oh, this looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital.
The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so...
Here she is probably running around the hospital then.
Oh dear, how worrying.
What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. That's very worrying, yeah. Can't examine the bin. We can examine...
Ah! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo! An enormous mouse!
Rooming in the hospital? That doesn't seem the best.
But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you're thinking. We definitely cannot say that. Let's not even go there. Before we go back, any chance to move anywhere? Only to the suite back there. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Back to examine, and time to talk to Miss Green. Good morning. Hello. I'm Yunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan.
Oh no! Was it you and I that... Are you the man who...
No. I'm a lawyer.
And I'm Susato Megatoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no! Was it your knife then? Are you the one? No. I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come and give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's all right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back.
I don't think that's related, actually.
Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down.
Moda! Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. What happened from her perspective? Perceptive, yes. That's what I mean. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick. I couldn't see a thing. It was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, isn't it? Well, I've been here in hospital, I mean.
Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in that court that solved the case.
Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me. Oh no! We're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are.
With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Should be Eiffel... I never remember the numbers. Eiffel 68. Freaking hell, what are the numbers again? 67, Eiffel 67. The ones that do the I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. The ones that go, now listen up, this is a blue world where all the things are blue. And the door is blue, the walls are blue, the entire house is blue. And the people and the food and all the animals are blue. Just everything is blue. Okay. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of arts, really, at the Thorndyke Academy of Fine Arts.
See, I never remember the bloody number of that band. It's Eiffel 65. Commit that to memory for next time, Laura, for the next, like, few months down the line where that becomes relevant again, and you say to yourself, God, what was that band's name again? I've forgotten it freaking again.
Oh my! An Academy of Fine Arts! Great Britain is such a wonderful country!
Okay. I reckon for how popular that song is, it did not take into account color-blind people. Oh, Juma, you're right, but also... Jesus. Wow. I remember it thanks to the Nintendo 64. Oh, literally just a number add to 64. Yeah, that could be a helpful hint, actually. Interesting. Hello to you too, Juma. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
I see. Oh, very interesting.
Oh no, is it?
Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndyke Academy is it's a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Centre. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is the far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Moustache. Inferior means? Well, I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine art student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh dear me. Do forgive me.
If you don't mind, I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
Oh, yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. message there, Mr. Narrowfodder here. Mr. Narrowfodder. Narrowfodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narrowfodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutmeg. Mr. Natsume? Sent a message to me?
But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on here? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? Ah! What are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh! Pry it out my hands, I can open the letter myself. Ah, well. This is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? You ripped it out of my hands first chance you had. It would seem that London criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once.
Murder?
Call a cab! Time is of the essence. But the trouble is... we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit to his lodgings once we did. That would be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here to note, my dear fellows. Yeah, I know that if you let me read it first, because the bailiff, the man, the nice constable did say Mr. Narrowfodder first, not Mr. Shimes. Is your name Narrowfodder? I didn't think so. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Wait, what?
I'll hear a Fiker at once.
Did I say that word, Fiker? Wait, how many different words have they refer to, like the horse-drawn taxis around here? I've seen like omnibus. I've seen Fiker now. There was something else just not a while ago that I've forgotten, some kind of a B word or something that I don't remember. They can't really use the word rickshaw because that's not a Western thing as far as I'm aware. And they've also called a cab. I mean, cars might exist back then, so yeah. Never heard that word before. You know what was called for? To the interwebs! Define... biker. A small four-wheeled carriage for public hire. And how does it sound? Bear with me a moment.
Fiacre. Fiacre.
A fiacre, that's how you say it. Okay. Yeah, must be a very old-timey word that barely gets used in current lexicon. We'll see. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Oh god. Oh god, who could it be? Not the soldier man. Surely not. Not him. Well, let's find out. 21st of February at 7:18 AM in Mr. Natsume's lodgings on the ground floor. What on earth?
Oh my! The gentleman's deceased, without question. He's dead.
Look, I'm stupid, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire!
Mr. Natsume!
Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court! Yesterday, I was finally home after 2 days of misery! And then I wake up the next day to this! No early bird should catch a worm like this! Waffle worm without wiggle!
I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Moustache.
Ah! Not the horrible hair lock shows! Shoo! Shove off! Show yourself the door! I never invited you!
I like doing that. I like doing my take on Soseki Natsume. I imagine he was... My canon for him in this game is that he was like, you know,
Kind of an old goofy like this. Like, woo!
I imagine if he got spooked, he would go like, woo! Something like that. I like my head canon for him.
Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Miss Natsume.
I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Moustache. What can I do for you? Oh, it's Mr. Man with the fish and chips again. Here they are, already. The busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson! What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. You know, that could just be the cholesterol from the sheer volume you eat in fried food, sir. As delicious as that is not healthy for your. It's not healthy for your body. It can't be good for your. Can't be good for your indigestion tracts. Then you probably got way too much stomach acid down there. Ah! I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Man said it, man. I took the word out of man's mouth. Did I call it, chat, or did I call it? Yeah. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Or good morning to you too, Sunshine. If I had an supply of fish and chips, I wouldn't stop either. Yeah, that's the thing. You just can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. That's right. That's what we do. Right, where can we look around here? Not so far as that way, but now we can go towards this way here. Yeah, so first and foremost, I have recognized this character having made a very fleeting appearance partway through one of the cases of the previous game. In fact, in the Clouded Kokoro case of the first game, there was him and somebody else having to bicker outside the lodgings for reasons. I wonder if this is where it's come to a head for him, unfortunately. But let us see around. Let us see around here the comic thespians lodgings here. They clearly like to practice, it looks like. Oi, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. Not a chance, I know your kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Oh, someone's in the bad moods. There's certainly some bad air in there, isn't there? Ha 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 ha! Oh, alright, it sounds like we're gonna talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor.
Oh, so is that...
Everywhere check that I'm not allowed to talk to then, not even Body. I mean, we can talk to Natsume first. It's just a good financial decision. Why spend money on another food if you got an endless supply? Even now, you start a fish and chips business and sell your endless supply.
You see, I did consider that.
This is talk like years ago. This talk like years ago now, but I had friends over here one time. Also from the UK, just like I am. And, you know, we always made the point of saying that, yeah, fish and chips out here is just not a thing that really is part of the cuisine. And when you do find it, it is always, like, toned down, watered down, or turned into something completely unrecognizable from the authentic version of the cuisine. Yeah, like they don't use like steak cut chips, like steak cut potatoes for the chips. They'll use like potato wedges, which is an affront. I'm gonna say that is absolute like heresy to do. The batter, for some reason, gets like spices added to it. It's like, you don't add spice to that. You might add like a pinch of pepper and that's it. But yeah, it's mostly just like you do some flour, maybe a bit of pepper and a bit of salt to it, and mostly it's the beer. It's the beer that makes it. Yeah. No, people adding like spices to the mix. And it's like, what are you doing? It's meant to be just as it is. You Japanese people. You. Why Japanese people? So yeah, unless you go to somewhere that specializes in it. I've seen 1 or 2 places. I know about one place in Tokyo that tries to do the thing. I've never seen a situation where added spice is bad. But yeah, to a the spice must flow, as I say. But yeah, not to like a fried fish batter for fish and chips. That really isn't really the thing that gets done, in all honesty. Yeah, like I said, at most, you probably throw in a dash of pepper. Because that's like a readily available spice literally everywhere. But no, I'm seeing things like, you know, add like a sprig of paprika. Like a bit of paprika or a bit of like curry powder or something like that to it. Maybe a bit of like chili flakes to it. Like, you don't put chili flakes in fried fish batter for fish and chips. Unless you're making some far off like what the hell version of it. But yeah, like the authentic one that I know, the batter is just like light. The flavor is kind of just all in just like the natural like floury flavor and a bit of the and the beer used to like make up the batter. Yeah, there's just some things about fish and chips that you don't typically get. You don't typically do. And if you do it, then you just like miss the kind of the point of the cuisine, or like step so far away from the authentic version when you do stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, me having some friends also from the UK so long ago were like, yeah, what if we like saved up money and bought out some kind of a kitchen space or some very small hole in the wall somewhere in the deep city of in like one of the very popular streets of the nearest biggest Japanese city, which in my case would be Osaka right now. But yeah, find a hole in one of there that's like for rent or for sale. Buy or rent it out. Study how to take all the licensing and testing and you know, get the necessary like credentials needed for working an actual proper authentic like batch fish and chip shop fryer. And yeah, just do like a hole in the wall version, like a hole in the wall fish and chips sort of type of deal there. Just have like a window open somewhere, and yeah, the fryer is at the back doing its business. You keep the cooked food warm somewhere in a hot plate situation or a warm oven nearby, and yeah, sell them off, because you'd be surprised the number of like foreigners here that aren't just like Americans or Filipinos or you know, Australians and things like that. Even like, yeah, you get quite a few like UK travelers coming through. Even New Zealanders as well, because apparently in New Zealand as well, fish and chips is kind of a big cuisine there as well. And yeah, I reckon if you had that, you made like a proper, like to the letter, authentic as possibly can be, hole in the wall fish and chip vendor in a late night Japanese city, you would make a killing. You would make an absolute fortune. Because a number of drunk people coming out of like the bars and clubs outright that would be like, yeah, it's late night, I need like late night hangover food, and they see a hole in the wall open that's doing fish and chips. It's like, oh my god, I love fish and chips back in my country. I'ma buy some of them. I'ma take them home with me. I have been saved quite a few times by a similar sort of hole in the wall situation hole-in-the-wall place that does various fried chicken deals. Mostly fried chicken wings was the main thing that this place was famous for. So yeah, I'd probably have wings from that hole in the wall. I also had their fries, and even though the fries were probably just like out of the bag crinkle cut deals, whatever spice blend this man put on those on those fries was the equivalent of having like drugs. For want of a better term, it was so the topping, the fries, spices were so goddamn addictive. And I just found myself, yeah, next time I'm down there, because I live very close to it now, or like a very easy train ride away from the main Osaka city center now. Next time I'm down there in the late night, that's where I'm probably going to be heading to fetch my next batch of them. Maybe you did put drugs in there, who knows? It didn't taste like it, so I'll say that much. I don't know if I get away with it. Add a bit of garlic to the fries, maybe some herbs to the fish. Local British stuff, though. Yeah. But yeah. If you're, sounds like this local fried chicken place, the seasoning is amazing. Oh, you're on about, like, one close to yourself? Yeah, I'm glad everybody's got, like, a place nearby them that they know that does, like, really, really nice food that they really like. That's really, cool. That's really a cool thing to have, isn't it? But yeah, like I said, the hole-in-the-wall fried chicken wing place that's in the big city now. Now it's so much easier for me to go down there and grab something from there if I wanted to. If I was spending a night out down there, I would definitely do that again. But yeah, like I said, something similar to that, but you learn how to make a proper, as authentic as you can, fish and chip deal, like you'd expect from a British fish shop or a New Zealand fish shop, whatever that might be, because I've never had New Zealand style. But yeah, you'd make a killing, especially among the foreigner crowds, because they'll be looking for good hangover food, you know, good something that's like greasy, salty, fight through all the alcohol, kind of food like that. You'd make an absolute killing having something like that, and we did discuss maybe we could do that at some point. If somebody learns how to get the source of the ingredients, somebody also needs to learn how to get one of the fryers over and learn how to work one of them to actual, you know, UK fish and chip standards, because they do exist. And yeah, you'd make a killing. Same if you did that with like proper British style banger sausages. Because they just ain't the same over here. They just ain't the same on the sausages. Like a proper fat pork link, big banger like that, just not found in Japan, honestly. This is a shame. The best you can get usually is just like a little hot dog wiener. It's like, yeah, that ain't the same, my dude. That just ain't the same. Yeah. People need to learn stuff like that, and then they make a killing with the foreigner crowds by doing stuff like that. Anyway, we have rambled. I have rambled so much that I'm going to take a drink first before we continue with this. I didn't expect that talk would take a while. Add a slice of lemon, a sprig of thyme. Yeah, you know, for garnishing, yeah, definitely. You always typically garnish with like a slice of lemon wedge. And yeah, the juice of that over your fried food is good, yeah. Typically they do that for the fried chicken in Japan as well. Lemon slice or a lime slice over the top. Squeeze the juice out of it over the top of it, and it's like, yeah, that's a good for a bit of a garnish. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything like that, but as a garnish, I would say that's good. I would say. No, yeah, the quintessential for me would be, you buy it from the fish and chip shop, nice big fish, fried up, very, very nice, big old bag of chips, and if you were getting it over the counter and we're having it there and then, they'd have the salts on standby. You grab that from the counter, put that over. their non-brewed condiment, which is their like equivalent of vinegar. Some of that over the top, and that is quintessential for me. That is a done thing of how it is done. I've got some Nikes as well. I do like them with red sauce. Oh, curry sauce as well, though. Good curry sauce with that as well. Maybe gravy as well. Everybody's got their preference, but like, yeah, quintessential for me is nice fried fish, big bag of chips. Take the salt from the counter, plenty of that over the top, and take the non-brew condiment vinegar on that as well, and plenty of that over the top as well. That is just like, that's perfect for me. That's absolutely perfect. Got to take it home, and I can actually use the actual malt vinegar that I had in my cupboards back home as well. So, you know, not the non-brewed condiments. But yeah, we really have rambled about fish and chips and various amount of foods, haven't we? When we have had a dead man here all this time. We were going to talk to Soulstacker first. Let's go for it. What a terrible thing to have happened.
It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. Oh, and then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences.
So the victim lived here on the ground floor? And your room is just 1 story up, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose.
So did you know the victim? Were you friends? Gosh, what's the matter with Soulstacker-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Let's see. The only problem I see with that plan is the fish itself. You'd have to try different fish types and find the best fit for authentic fish and chips. The taste can vary a lot depending on salt or sweet water, how fat the fish is. The usual that you'd use is a white fish. A fish that when you cook it up is got like white flesh on the inside. So the usuals from our fish and chip shops local in the UK would be haddock, cod. Some go a bit further afield and try other things as well. I've seen plaice offered. Flounder maybe. And then of course you've got like people that do the scallops as well. And yeah, various other things. Yeah, the usuals for me would be either cod or haddock. They'd be the ones. I don't see it particularly being done with salmon because that's more like, I don't know, that's not really a fry it up cut of fish. You usually just grill that or just do that in a pan. A pan or oven bake. Like salmon I feel like is more like a baking or a cook in a pan kind of fish. But no, yeah, the typicals for a fish and chip shop fried up would be cod or haddock. But you want to use a fresh fish, so you can't import British fish. You will need to find the Japanese equivalent. True. I'm sure there's a facsimile we can use because white meat fish does. You can get white fish meat in Japan, definitely. On top of all the other sort of varieties that they do, you know, your typical like mackerel, salmon, bream, and various other things as well. Oh god, what's the aji called again? Flatfish, herring as well, sardine, that kind of thing. Tuna, yeah. I'm sure like among those there's like white fish that we can get as well. I mean, for sure, we could probably use that as well, to be fair. Yeah, we'll see, though.
Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it!
an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Miss Naruto?
When we found him there, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there!
Ah. Well, I guess it's as far as we go from them. We gotta get word of mouth from you then. What's your dealio then? So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shamspeare. He was a lodger here. Very much explains the theatre thespian sort of vibe going on here. Definitely. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it happens, or just dead.
Mr. Shamspeare?
It was the landlord, old Mr. Garadeb, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garadeb got worried and kicked the door down. Oh god, yeah, I better hope that his leg is healed by then, Jesus. But doesn't Mr. Garadeb have a bad leg? Exactly my point. Oh yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kick in. Really? Soseki-san? I mean, take a look at his sandals. I can see that. He could kick a door down with those. They look sturdy enough. The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were no people in his house. Miserable life, and a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the co-habiter. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you?
Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. Oh, Lolland's here!
Good to see you. How you doing? Was nice talking about fish, but we gotta
Give me a
go
drink,
now.
bartender.
Damn me.
Hey, it's Chat. We want you to drink something.
There's a drink, thank you, Palthea. I will do my legs first, you can't see, but... one leg. There. Two legs. And I'll do my arms too, because why not? And then two. Thank you so much, Palthea, and have a nice plan, whatever you've got coming up. Have a nice day with that.
Yeah, Lolland, I come in.
Nice to have you here. Hope your day's going well.
Okay, Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again.
Certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he?
Oh man. How unfortunate.
Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been the goner that long. The body is still warm. There was the honest, Summer. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Gonna bring myself to do it. Hello. We got Herlock up here doing the running man. I mean, at least it's not being like a cat and hanging from, for example, that. At the very least. But I guess we gotta be like, yo, what you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Ah! You wouldn't need observer to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that running man pose. The song "Walk Like an Egyptian" won't exist for another 100 years, for God's sakes.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened.
My goodness! But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you put it out here, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which a victim fought for his life.
Ah!
Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow?
No, don't make me. Forget I was here.
And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips.
Nonsense!
Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions?
No, please! Pretend I'm not here! Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant!
Impossible to ignore, that's your problem.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail.
But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions. Created for you, for your pleasure, in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. Here we go. For Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Oh, here you go. It's time again. The game's afoot. Oh my God, the game's afoot. We're gonna look at the cause of death first. I think before we look at the cause of death and everything like that first, we have ourselves a bit of a breaky break to do. And yeah, let's get that done right away and here and now, shall we? While we've got the boogie of the deduction music going on here. Yes, but alas, let's have a break now for people in the Twitch stream. We're going to do that right now and run the ads in between as well to get rid of pesky pre-rolls. And of course, if you're watching and then hopefully enjoying this in YouTube land, you've got no worries because we'll cut out all that time spent in the break. But if you want to pause and maybe get yourself a, take some time for yourself for a little bit, then please go ahead and do so. And yeah, we'll do that also in the Twitch stream. I'll be back and they'll see you there in a few minutes time.
Yeah.
Hey there, welcome back everyone. The people in YouTube land, people in Twitch land. I hope this stream, this video highlight is still a very, very fun one for you to be watching. Thanks for sticking around for it so far. Please leave your like and comments down below if you wanted to let me know how you're enjoying things. And maybe even consider subscribing, hitting the bell as well if you're watching in YouTube land to go ahead and get the push notifications for all future uploads of this series, plus more coming in due course. Now, the unfortunate thing is, while we're set up to get ready for our last break, the game did the thing again of when I click out of it, sometimes it just randomly decides to skip forward to the next available dialogue option. So, let's quickly go back into the history for the beginning of Mr. Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. And let's just catch up it from here, because this is the only bit we need to skip over. So, let's read it. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. To which, Soseki reacted with a, "Oh my goodness, really?" Next to the victim, we will notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, one half of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Oh god, he ate the soap.
Why is this soap served so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact? Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Ooh. Like, I like how they're sort of reacting to that as well as just being like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, actually looking forward to the audience like, can you believe what this man is saying right now? I certainly can't. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end, he couldn't resist devouring this slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Or just things you're not meant to ingest. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of this plate. The soap and the laver about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. God, this man has, like, the truest enigma just out there. Of any character that I've heard about, this man just has the enigma. My God. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? Oh, no. The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. Which you're like, oh, what? To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. Totally it's soap. Don't eat the soap. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Oh, no! Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. Please, Sholmes, that's too soon! No possible perpetrator present. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You are disposed to identify just one thing, aren't you, Miss Nunherdo? Pray, what concerns you? That one thing called everything! Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think this man would have eaten the soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing.
How extraordinary!
In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut.
And did it?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and spit the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Oh, believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. How hungry indeed, yeah. How low would the needs need to be for you to be like, yeah, I'm gonna eat the soap now?
There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
Oh, what's that?
It's Mr. Natsume.
Oh!
I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' seductions touched a nerve somehow.
Nonsense.
Well, that Clench Thief episode didn't last.
I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth.
Window cleaner is a quite common replacement for alcohol and some soaps too. Yeah, was it like 80 proof or something like that? And in no way, like, with any kind of flavoring attached to it or whatever? Because yeah, that is a lot of alcohol content in the window cleaner. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do.
Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions, and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place.
In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? But mine was just a matinee, you'll say. Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise on the evening performance of Sherlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. And the one that we're directing this time, because my god, the show was a train wreck. Alright, course correction on the cause of death. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison, which you're reacting to. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, one half of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why is the soap set so purposefully upon a dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the true answer. Nah, not the fork. Well, you can't deny that the fork implies the man was eating something, or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use the fork than to attempt it with chopsticks.
And of course, only the half of the bar of soap is left in the plate.
But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap?
Could it be that the man was about to eat the soap? I don't think the soap. But there's the other piece of soap down there. That's just the hat attachment I see. Is that really all I get to look at, huh? This is a unexpectedly very limited amount of range I get in where I'm allowed to look at. But okay then. So the fork reveals the answer. Teacup. The other piece of soap. I would see if there was something in the other hat. In the middle of the hat that did something. Yeah, so the only things I can... all I can look at is the fork again, the teacup, and the other half of the bar of soap. Not a lot of evidence here to suggest. Let's have a look at the other half of the soap. Look! There's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamspear must really have loved the stuff.
And let's not jump to conclusions, Miss Naruhodo. Look closely at this soap. Do you see it would fit together perfectly with a half bar on the table?
How can that be?
I think that they are two halves of the same bar that broke apart.
As a result of trying to use it for whatever acting thing he's got going on here. Yeah, this. All I get is the fork, the teacup, and the other piece of soap down there. What about the teacup? Do you think he was drinking tea with his soap?
The cup's empty, so there's no way of knowing.
Oh, how about this for an idea? Perhaps the cup was full of water, and he was dissolving soap in it so he could gulp down as much as possible.
Please remember that he may not actually have been the soap lover he has made out to be.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of help with this though, do I? Unless there's like something else. Somehow I've not missed out upon here. We've got a very interesting thing here. Okay, the only reason I'm gravitating towards the other piece of soap being the answer to the puzzle here is simply because when it comes to this kind of puzzle in the game, you usually have to look all the way around to somewhere else for another vantage point to then see something else that magically appears, like another piece of evidence that you didn't spot from when you started looking at the thing. So that's the only reason I'm saying that the fork is the one we got to change. The teacup was already present on the top of the table, but then when we turn around, suddenly other piece of soap appears. So that leads me to believe that this is the answer somehow, but honestly not sure why. The only reason I can think of it really was that we will in fact suggest that he was using the fork merely to slice up the soap for some kind of other purpose other than ingestion. That's the only reason I can think of. Let's try go.
Take that!
Well, there we go. That was the right answer. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really. But no depth of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. The victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of this plate. Was it really? Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then.
Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it.
If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all.
Of course. Food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Alright, let's see where else and how far we can look here. The contents of the plate. Or maybe the teacup instead. Because again, I've only got the fork, what's on the plate, and the teacup. Must be worth ever in that. Yes. A Western vessel for the serving of infusions of dry tea leaves.
It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo. As well you know. Stop putting on airs. And it's empty.
Huh, so we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea.
My thoughts exactly.
So then it must be teacup then, sure.
Take that!
Boom!
Shatter it and make the right answer. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. So we change it to poison in his tea.
No! How could this happen?
And you think there's no perpetrator present? The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question of... Was this suicide or murder? That's what a murderer would do. That was terrible, I can't run my R's, I'm sorry. The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper, in quotes. Did the man dine and die alone? The single teacup suggests the answer. But it was his own teacup then, so come on. Ah, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in my deduction so far.
Yes. You can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamsby was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that. But what troubles me
Is Mr. Nutsmeat's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems.
we must closely examine the scene in the crime again for some more clues.
How far can we look around here then? Oh, a second. Somehow you very cleverly hit that all of this time. Single teacup? Nah, there's a second teacup. So this is actually his teacup. And we're led to believe that this belongs to a second party. Let's have a look at the teacup then. It's another vessel for Western. It's another Western vessel for.
It's a teacup! And the too is empty.
Given that he's actually holding this one in his hand,
We can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shamsby was actually drinking.
But if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we've deduced up until now was turned on its head. I have a bad feeling about this. Don't copyright that. I almost don't want to say it.
Yes, I know exactly how you feel.
But we gotta present it, because it's the evidence of there being a second party.
Take that!
Did the man dine and die alone? The other teacup suggests the answer. Oh, sorry. Yes, there were two teacups in this room all along. Oh! In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. At the very least, we can say it now with certainty. That somebody else was here in this room last night, taking tea with the victim.
What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable.
To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow.
Oh no!
Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. But does it? I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now.
I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much so.
But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, no, I suppose not. Time to look around again. Time to look it all around again. A candle. An empty bottle. The pile of books. Oh, we could then get a look at the glasses and there might be something as well, but no. Oh no, we're gonna have to incriminate him because he's the one that's fanatical about getting books all the time. Let's take a look at what books are. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read... A Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for Gabra. A Gabro.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard those titles before, and yikes.
It could be just an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
What? We're gonna have to do it, aren't we? We're gonna have to say got him. Yeah, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Soseki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right.
And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim.
Yet Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think?
I really don't know what to make of it.
The pile of familiar books. But now we've had a look at them, and now we can tie them to them being the ones that Soseki bought. It's gotta be this.
Which is a shame indeed, but we're gonna do it.
We gotta do it to him.
Take that!
Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so! It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at the second-hand bookshop.
That's just a coincidence!
In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment.
No, never, non-negotiable!
If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Having purchased the book 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very same day. So you could conceivably have bought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. You know, we had to do it to him, and I hate that we had to do it to him, but it's the only way we're gonna move forward. In other words, you could have only brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey.
Oh, no! In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in this room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor... was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Holmes' great deduction. No possible trader, but Soseki Natsume was present at the scene. Although again, could purely be coincidental. Deduction complete. Elementarium. That's right, is it? Oh, not again! Not again! Not again! Not again! Well then, Mr. Natsume, it would appear you're going to have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. But wait! Hold your horses! Yes? Door! Key! Locked! Entry! Exit! Entirely impossible! And he's so flustered he's being even stranger than normal. Now what, you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. You live in the same building after all. You've had plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. But misery me! I'm sorry for all yawning. My brain needs the oxygen. Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Moustache. Ah, you horrible Sherlock Holmes! And he really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Welcome to the Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... you have to help me, please, please! I'm innocent! Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. One more thing! Oh, yeah? My poor little kitty cat! Please give him his breakfast for me!
Oh, but you feed water. Yeah, I remember now.
Oh, and so... oh, I'm yawning again. His evil curse still apparently unbroken. Soseki found himself once again the prime suspect in the case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. Oh, my dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Hey, it belongs to us both, if anything. You gotta shoulder the blame yourself, as well. Well, then at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now.
Yes, that's right. Oh, and of course.
What?
Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garrett, who discovered Mr. Shakespeare.
Ah, Mr. John Garrett, yes.
I expect we could find him in his sitting room on the top floor as usual.
Right. Yeah, we must remember to go and talk to him later then. We must remember to do so, but only after we pry for everything in this room. Because yes, indeed. Oh my god, why am I yawning so much? Jesus Christ. Probably will be just hopping into bed straight away after we're done here. My word.
This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think. Isn't it?
Where does the audience sit, though? for the nightly Shakespeare performances.
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench with a fence in your office.
What?
Then you could practice your art every single day.
I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. I can imagine. Yunosuke said that, and then immediately just with said at the end, and then immediately with a face of like, just like, what about it? What do you say to that? And of course, Usato's just been like,
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
ooh, this I have to see. Now, where's the nearest, like, now, where's the nearest wig shop around here? This is Victorian London. I'm sure they still existed. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall.
Gas lights? A gas stove? London really is a city of gas.
But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadev had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there.
Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier.
You just want to be comfy and cozy, no?
And then they've got the reader, the meter. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind.
Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah, now you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot right here that just looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here...
That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating.
So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold?
Yes. Or if you were scattering with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank.
Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. We have a nice, comfortable old stove, we do, and it's good. You notice I'm gonna purposely leave the body for the last thing that we will look at, just in case.
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax the Britons had to pay.
God, what strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. Boy, howdy, you don't know half of it. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary.
It's heartbreaking to think that poor people having to block up the windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax.
I almost said insufferable, but to be honest, you could exchange the words. And it would probably be alright.
Oh!
What is it, Mrs. Sato?
If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose.
I'll loose, you say? Oh yeah. It looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. So was it Mr. Shansby who did it? I wonder, being the lodger rented this room?
Oh, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
More soap. What, outside? That is more soap outside. Which I can take a look at. In another due time. Is that all that we had to look at here? I suppose it was. Taking a look at all of his effects in here. Oh look, there's a wig! There you go. That can be for Susanna later. To dress up as a judge.
There's not much in these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. both of them are cracked.
Yeah, not much use, are they? Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all.
Prosecutor Lord Van Zeeks?
Yes. He's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy.
Yeah, you can suggest it next time we meet. Brave enough to do that now, Now that we say that idea out loud, Look at these extravagant, bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room, with its grim, shady goings-on.
This one looks like a king's attire.
A king? Yeah, I've always dreamed of being a king.
Oh, I think you'd be more suited to a feudal lord. A daimyo or such like.
With a chonmage topknot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmage.
Oh, you'd look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chonmage and a sword? How would they react to that? Also, I never remembered what the name of that hairstyle was. Yeah, it's the one. But if you imagine, you're looking at somebody like an old painting of an old Japanese emperor, or you're watching a period drama of Edo period goings on. Yeah, the feudal lords and all the warriors and samurais would have the thing of they would have hair all the way around here, but then this part, their foreheads and about upward to there, that would all be clear and shaved away. But then on the top of it there would be a little tuft of hair done with a knot like so. That would be, I think, what they refer to as chonmage. I had to make sure I read that word as in the Japanese way, because I believe that is the Japanese word, chonmage. So yeah. So, okay. With that, we go back to the window. And the soap.
Oh, it's so cold outside. You can feel it through this gap.
It did snow all last night. Yeah, it would be cold. But more importantly, what is that on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps?
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window?
I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that.
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window. Two bars of soap on the wall, 2 bars of soap. You take one down and pass it around and blah 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 blah. I think perhaps we should take one. There are 2 after all.
Oh dear. I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap.
Ah!
Do you see? In the middle there. There's a patch. That's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but
Some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain.
it looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful! It's probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive? And what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? Okay, a normal cheap bar of soap was found outside Mr. Shakespeare's window. 1 of 2 we found there. And there's a second variety of such that has some sort of a red patch on top of it. Could be him cooling a wax melt, maybe? Into a mold for some description? That's the wild theory that came into my head, and I don't know if it's correct.
of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guests drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Soseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. Soap used as a mold is a super common trope in media. Yeah, I imagine, yeah, you could cool down a bar of soap. Carve out whatever mold you want to make. Freeze it well in some cold weather, or nowadays you probably do it in the fridge or freezer. And yeah, you could, yeah, set some melted wax in there. That hopefully shouldn't melt too quickly under the heat of melted wax. And yeah, I reckon you could probably very easily do that such a thing. See? Right, we got a pair of teacups used by Mr. Shamspear and Mr. Natsume. The one with the green line around the rim was Mr. Natsume's. And they are now in my court record.
Thank you.
Reality, the soap would either melt or combine with the medium. Yeah, would be entirely dependent, I guess. Or maybe you use the material with a lesser melting point. Or maybe he just took jam in there for all I know, I don't know. Some kind of a compote. Who rightly knows? We'll find out later, I'm sure.
What's this?
It looks like part of an envelope, I think.
Oh yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off and the letter was opened.
Is that significant?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter. All the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there.
Oh. And she's right. As usual. Again.
And yet, here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual.
I agree. We better take this just... that's thinking voice. We better take this just in case. Yay, another piece of evidence. We're getting rapid evidence here. The torn off end of an envelope has been entered into the court record. Was found in Shamspear's room. The rest of the envelope is nowhere to be seen. There it is. We never examined the victim, did we? Ooh, Whooms. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Whom said? Oh god, you're back. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Inspector Gregson! Back so soon? Meow? After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. Snooping as usual, I see. Exactly. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we better be leaving then.
Oh, poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in the cell again so soon.
I'm sure we should probably go, What is this, the Great Ace Attorney Zombies?
What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets this hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. now. How soundeth the next part? It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed! Oh, happy days! And now I am the dead. Walking Dead! I should have accompanied that with a...
Oh my goodness!
Definitely. Or should have then accompanied it with a, Definitely, I think. He's alive! He's alive! Oh, now is he dead? Who wonders? So, what gives? The fella isn't dead at all! I imagine the freaking, like, shock of it must have been like... That's probably why it took a bit for Gregson to react to that. Just give him the next line and then say, oh, freaking Javon. Never mind, he's actually dead. Who knows it? To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. First, a kiss upon thine lips before I die. Bleh. Pretty much like that. I don't know if that's the exact line from Romeo and Juliet, but it must be close to that. That's what it does, yeah. That's what it does. Romeo finds Juliet, looking dead, but only paralytically so. She was just like literally paralyzed to feign a death. Was brought into a mausoleum nonetheless. Romeo goes and discovers a body and is like, oh my god, no, I can't live without my Juliet. Then has a load of rat poison himself or something like that. Ingests it, and yeah, he's like, I will join you soon, but first a kiss upon your lips before I die. And then Romeo actually dies. Juliet awakens, and then there's like other characters coming in like, oh my god, this wasn't how it's supposed to go. I dare not be here anymore. And then, yeah. And then, you know, the rest. Juliet also does the same. Cannot live without her Romeo. And, then does away with herself with a dagger, I think it is, unfortunately. So, an ultimate tragedy, as most Shakespeare's tend to be. That's what you get when Shakespeare is such an ingrained part of your, like, literature studies. When you're doing school, it's like you can't escape the man. You can't escape him. Must have looked like a few of them. I think I remember the two I definitely looked at during my years of school study was Romeo and Juliet, The Tempest. I think I did maybe. Was it Midsummer Night's Dream? Or was it 12th Night? I think one of those. Or it could have been another one that I'm not remembering, but I know I definitely did Romeo and Juliet, and I definitely did The Tempest, because I remember watching, like, video and, like, video versions of them in, like, movie format. I watched like a claymation, a stop motion version of The Tempest, with, like, stop motion models and claymation, and then I did a combination of both the, like the 2000s version of Romeo and Juliet that had like Leo DiCaprio in it, and John Leguizamo of all the people. And then I watched another one of like a 70s, 80s like recorded stage version of it, I guess, or maybe something else entirely that had like younger actors for playing Romeo and Juliet. For some reason, the only scene that sticks in my mind from that version that I watched is the whole bit in the mausoleum where both Romeo and Juliet cork it. Strange to be thinking only about that. Yeah, lots of Shakespeare in my school studies, I tell you what. Too much, in fact. Too much, I say. So anyway, the fellow isn't dead at all.
What was that nonsense he was saying, though?
Hmm. I think... Yes! It was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Ah! Hot potato water souls, Puck will make amends. Ow!
Oh, still so spoken. Hello, first time chat.
I've seen you about here, and thank you for following not too long ago, yeah.
How you doing?
You did Romeo and Juliet, Othello, The Giver, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, etc. Romeo and Juliet with Leo DiCaprio is my favorite of all time. What, your favorite film or favorite version of Romeo and Juliet? I mean, either way, that's fine. Hey, I appreciate you just there lurking. Not a problem at all. If you want to go back and lurk in, that's your right. If you're more than welcome to do so. But thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. It's nice to see you around here. Absolutely. But yes, do not speak the name of the Scottish play. Oh, best movie of all time.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
That's very nice to think. As we said here, Dune, great comment on the Wemble Lurker. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, as I said, lurkers are always appreciated around here. No problems at all. Just as long as you're comfortable and enjoying your time here, that is all I can say. And yeah, I'm glad to be giving you a good time all the same. There we go. Do not ever speak the name of the Scottish play in a theatrical setting, in a performing arts setting, for it is considered very, very, very bad luck. What, Macbeth? Ah! Hot potato, waters the skulls, Puck will make amends. Ah! You don't know where I learned that? Blackadder the Third, of all things. Oh, dear. Oh, how could I forget? Macbeth. No! Hot potato, waters the skulls, Puck will make amends. I love the Baz Luhrmann version, that's the one that... Oh, it's Baz... Yeah, I forgot who directed it. It's Baz Luhrmann, isn't it? Yeah. There you go, there you go. We did that too. What? Like exercising the demons every time somebody says the name of Macbeth. Hot potato, waters the skulls, Puck will make amends. Dear, anyway. I don't know why I went here.
Yes, it's a soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare? Well, his name was Shamspeare. It only makes sense. So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. He was very good at playing dead for that long. That's the mark of a true actor! There it is indeed. Oh, also goodness, okay, right. Hit that. That's my computer saying things, don't worry. Did that too. We also read that book and saw the movie. Oh, with, oh, the Scottish play. yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. What, Macbeth? Hot potato washes the skulls, Puck will make amends. Right, we're gonna go 21st of February in Briar Road. We have nature sounds. Tell you what, we'll keep the nature sounds on and we'll also play some music while we run ourselves our next ad break. Let's quickly go sell that now. I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Massive hello everyone, we are back for the next little section of today. You've missed nothing if you're in the YouTube video watching this, and I still hope sincerely you're enjoying watching this. We have just a little bit more of today's video to go, so yeah, continue to sit back, relax and enjoy, hopefully.
Oh, whatever do you think will happen now?
I'm not focused into the game window. That's my beat. Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shamspeare did consume poison as we deduced. But was it an accident? Attempted suicide? Or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. what's this? What's that man doing over there? I say I recognize him as well because in the very, very short scene I saw of Shamspear in the first game, he was having a bit of a bicker with this man right here. So I remind him. He looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Excuse me? Could we have a word? Ah! Deja vu. Got a face open like a muppet. He just ran off.
I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it?
I do too, but I don't remember. Thankfully, I remember. It was exactly just right out here, wasn't it? Should we take a look at everything again? We can take a look at the bust-up house. The Garudeb household and Mr. Natsume's lodgings are in a prominent position there in the corner. Sometimes when I look at the building, I can't help feeling that it's on a bit of a slant.
It does rather look as though it would collapse in even the smallest earthquake, doesn't it?
And isn't it supposed to be haunted as well? I think I might have a hunch on why Soseki-san has such a hunched back. Trying to hold himself to such high esteem. Can't do it.
There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garudeb residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact.
That one seems very warped, though. Especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think?
No. I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly affected.
Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on his bicycle, I think.
Oh dear. I fear you may be right.
I fear you may be like, yeah, that's him desperately trying to get used to things, but yeah. Also, he's trying to ride it in February when there's like ice and snow on the ground. That is surely a safety hazard. That's probably why he didn't have such a good job of it. With the exception of the top floor, where Mr. and Mrs. Garudeb live, all the windows are bricked up.
Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows a property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows.
But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely.
Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done.
Oh yeah. That is a sad state of affairs.
Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose that's the price you pay for living in a very cheap accommodation.
It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that.
It's pointless. Right now looking at the... what is it? Wait. Oh, that's a look at the windows. Okay, I see. Then what about this? Then what about the street? Oh, nothing particular. No, oops. I meant to pick that. I meant to pick that. Oh, London's blanketed in fog again today, and the sky is covered in cloud. But if you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the Crystal Tower being built.
Ah, the Crystal Tower, yes! The centerpiece of the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time.
Everyone's talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems.
Well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. I can't wait for it myself.
Do you think visiting students in the Far East like us will be granted entry?
The last exhibition that was held in London had more than 6 million visitors, it seems. And this time, the British are determined to make it even a bigger success to outdo the Paris exposition.
I see. Wow, that's an incredible number of people. And with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed.
There's always the honest approach of buying tickets in the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo.
Don't have to be sneakykins about it. Nah, not indeed. Right, what can we look at here? Sounds like the beginning of like the Hidden Palace music from Sonic 2 for some reason. Why has somebody built this snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think?
Oh, that's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That's part of the snowman's body.
Really? But it already has a perfectly good body. Oh, is it the different... Ah.
Oh, yeah.
There's differences in the way that they build snowmen in different countries. Some only have 2 segments and some have 3 segments. Like made up from either 2 big snowballs or 3 big snowballs.
Yeah, that's right.
I completely skipped over as a cultural difference, I noticed. Wow.
Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner.
Perhaps it's Mr. Natsume. And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels.
If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs.
Do you ever think that perhaps you could think about things too much? You think about things way too much. You have an overreactive imagination, but honestly, you keep being you, Susato. You are nice and you are valid as the way you are. Right, seen all of Baker Street. Seen all of, what's it? No, Baker Street? No, it's not Baker Street. It's, Briar Road, that's what it's called. Okay, then where else can we move? To the prison or to the Gyarados room on the top floor? Yes, interesting. Should we do Gyarados room first? Yeah, I think I'll do Gyarados room for a bit. Or maybe save that for another time. Maybe save that for another time? Shall we? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right there. Make a save right here because I realize I actually haven't saved for quite a while. And that would be a bad idea, okay? Get back to there, and we are now saved. Okay. Yep, that's where our adventure is going to be picking up. Here we will have a word with Mr. Garadeb about the things that we see, about the things that we've all seen and what he might know about events that have transpired. And we'll get to the bottom of this, in some due times here. Yeah, very interesting start to this case, and, I'm already seeing all the connections and all the things potentially falling into place, all the characters that we've seen only fleetingly, and my god, we are hopefully in for a good ride for this one. But that's going to be it for today's show. Friends in Twitch stream, thanks for coming along. Friends in the YouTube stream watching this as well, or in the YouTube highlight I should say, thank you so much for tuning in as well. Like I said, there's only going to be a short little extra section to wrap up this video with. Move to a new location and it just made sense to stop here. Because I'm tired. I want to go to bed now. But yeah, people in the Twitch stream, if you had no idea, That's fine. That's fine. We made it say this one here. It's fine. But yeah, if you didn't know, this VOD will be up on the Laura Petal VOD YouTube channel during next week. So tune in at the time there, and you'll be able to catch up on everything you've missed over on that part. Over on that, when we make the highlight out of it. Of course, with all the breaks taken out, so you will not be missing out on anything, and we'll have to stop for anything, and that'll be all dandy and good. And for people in YouTube land currently watching this right now, and as and when it's now ready and made, cheers for being amazing audience people and seeing out this video to the end if you have. But if this is your first video that you've seen, come and check out some more that I've got. Check out, catch up with the rest of the playlist and all the other ones that I've got currently. And if you like what you've seen here, please do consider subscribing and hitting the bell too to get your push notifications for future uploads coming up in this series and some more in the future. But yeah, it just remains me to say thanks to all of my Twitch people coming in and spending some time with me today. It's been nice to talk to some of you. And yeah, nice to have all of you for this ride as well. Wherever you've been watching this from, I hope we have brightened up your day. If we have, then that's great to hear. Do let me know if you have been enjoying these as well. Leave your likes and comments as per usual, and check out where else you can follow me in the description below. But for now, that's it from me. Have a great day, everyone. Stay and stay awesome, and I'll see you for more Great Ace Attorney Resolve when we come back for our next trip on this. So I'll see you all very, very soon in the next video. Take care of yourselves.